A very good morning to you. You're watching the Fixed Wing Guy channel and my name is Stuart Lomas. Hope I find you well on this Good Friday. Dreadful day here in Manchester, as is always the case in Easter. We have a local fair that arrives here and has done in all of my 54 years in a place called Daisy Nook, and it sounds wonderful, and it is. But when you go down there at Easter, they rent a field off a local farmer, and it's always mud ridden, so people turn up in very, very inappropriate shoes and get muddied up to the eyeballs when they're down there. It's a nice day, a great old-fashioned fair, and it's great fun, but tramping around in mud, not my idea of a great laugh, to be perfectly honest. But not what we're here to talk about today. What I want to talk about today, however, is another video by one of our YouTube compatriots, Simon Crane. Over the last couple of weeks, Simon's done a couple of things that have caught my attention, and today was no different. He was talking about Tudor. Are they the new benchmark luxury watch? And what he was basically saying was that, in his opinion, Tudor are now taking the place of somebody at perhaps the lower end of what they call luxury watches, somebody like Musings or Tag Heuer potentially. And we should start taking notice of them. Now, the video today, what I want to talk about really is benchmarking as an entity, and talk about Tudor. So I'll get that out of the way first. I don't know a lot about Tudor, but I will make it my business to have a look at the range, see what it looks like, see if there's any in there that actually take my eye, and see what the prices are like, and I'll report on that in another video. But what I want to talk about as far as Tudor are concerned, obviously over many years they have been known as Rolex's poor cousin, and I think that is the case, but that doesn't make them a poor man's watch or a bad watch. If I can throw in a car analogy here, as I always like to do, which I did when we were talking about Apple products and Android products, for instance. We talked about the BMW 3 Series and Ford Mondeo. If I can put in here Porsche. If you want to buy a Porsche and you've yearned for a Porsche for many years, and the ideal car that you want is a 911 generation Porsche, well, you know full well, looking at the range, is that they start at the bottom with the Boxster. They do the Boxster S, in the middle they do the Cayman and the Cayman S, and then they do the 911 Carrera range. Now, people say that the Boxster is the poor cousin of the 911, but there are many people out there who actually like the Boxster, especially because it's soft top and you get that 93 million miles of headspace. And I know here in Britain we don't see a lot of sun, but on the 2 days of the year where we do get sun, perhaps that would be very nice. Now, the Cayman stuck right in the middle, from what I understand. I'm not a great Porsche fan, but from what I understand, it's stuck right in the middle of price, right in the middle of things that you can buy to strap onto it, and right in the middle as far as performance is concerned. Because if they didn't do that, then it'd be up in 911 territory, and Ferdinand would be doing somersaults in his grave if they did that, I think. Now, this is the same, I feel, with Rolex and Tudor. The question is a simple one. Excuse me, not well today. Why would Tudor not be Rolex's poor cousin? Well, simple. If Rolex made Tudor as good as they could make Tudor, then it'd be a Rolex. So the upshot is that Tudor, in reality, will always indeed be the poor cousin, because it has to be. Does it make them a bad watch? Not necessarily, at all. They are using, I understand, ETA or ETA movements, whereas Rolex say that they do their in-house. I don't know whether Tudor are manufacturing 316L stainless steel, or whether they're in the 904 stainless steel that the Rolex are built in. I don't know, but I will find out. I don't know whether they come with the same quality of bracelet. I don't know whether they come with leather straps. I don't know if they come with silicone straps. At this point, I don't care. So what I'm talking about here is, it's not important if you find a Tudor watch that you like and it's within your price range. There's the money thing again. Then buy it, regardless what anybody else says. Now, benchmarking, I think for me lives very, very snugly with horological snobbery. Not a great fan of snobbery, as you know. You have got a lot of people out there who will say things like, oh yes, right at the bottom we've got tag the poor man's lower end luxury watch, and at the top end we've got our Patek Philippe's and so on and so forth, and in between you've got stuff that's perfectly alright to wear, but personally I wouldn't have one of those. You know, you've got your Rolexes and that kind of thing, and you've got your Omegas below that. Now that, to me, benchmarking, you know, benchmarking doesn't start at the bottom. Benchmarking will go all the way up through the range. You know, people could justifiably say that, oh yes, the Omega Planet Ocean Dark Side of the Moon is the benchmark for the middle range of the prestige watch brands. They could say that. So benchmarking is a bit of a redundant term in my eyes. Plus, in my head, I hear benchmarking and I hear snobbery, snobbery, snobbery. Stop talking down to me. As I say, I will look into Tudor and I will see what I think, and I will let you know, and I'll try and give you an unbiased opinion of the range, what they look like, what's available, the price range, whether I feel they're worth it, and so on and so forth. Now, the problem with benchmarking is, if Patek Philippe, for instance, or AP, or whoever else is the benchmark as far as top quality, artisan built, note, artisan, not horologists, artisan built watches are concerned, then that's fine. But the problem is with that, of course, other things then come into play. Do I like them? Do I like how they look? Does it have a bracelet that I like? Does it have a strap that I like? Does it have a dial that I like? Do they do it in red? Do they do a dial, because I want a red dial, or I want a yellow dial? You see my Seiko. You know, do they do the dial colour that I want? No, they don't. No. Do they do a champagne dial? Champagne dial. Vintage. Very, very nice. Let me know if you know of anybody who does a nice champagne dial watch. Beautiful, classy, looks brilliant on a dress watch. If you've not seen one, find some pictures, champagne dial vintage dress watches. See what you think, let me know. So benchmarking is fine. You can say this is the benchmark for the best of the best. It's got the best movement, you know. But if it's not got the dial you want, the bracelet that you want, the strap that you want, the complications that you want, what good are benchmarks? Really, what good are benchmarks? Apart from saying this is the benchmark and you need to buy it. What is the point? So, benchmark, snobbery, that is it. Excuse me. Better, not gin, water. So that's kind of where I am on benchmarks. I don't mind people saying to me, listen Stuart, I know you're looking for a particular type of watch. In my opinion, if you've got this kind of money to spend and you want to be in a recognisable brand, start looking between this and this. I'm fine with that. As I think I said in my last video, or the one before, people talking to you and giving you advice. Advice is tangible stuff that you can feel, stuff that you can touch, all that kind of thing. Lovely, fine. I'm not an expert in anything. I just know a little bit about a lot of subjects. I'm not an expert in watches, apart from the fact that I am an expert and I know what I like. Simple. So benchmarks, no, not really. To be honest, no, not really. Being the owner of some things that Archie would definitely say are dog shit, then that's fine. I do own a Rolex, which hopefully Archie would like. If he doesn't like it, I don't care. You know, I don't care. I do. It's mine. I love it. It'll never leave my possession. Same with my Seiko. So the upshot: benchmarks are not distinguishable from snobbery. But the word benchmark can be used, I suppose, as a helpful term to say, you know, if you want a certain type of thing with a certain type of complication, with a certain kind of look, this is the benchmark where you start and this is the benchmark where you finish, because that's where your money runs out. And that's fine. I'm okay with that. Thank you very much indeed. So a little bit of a rant today, I suppose. I will make another video, as promised. I will look into Tudor range, see what I make of them, see if I think they're worth the money, see if I think that they've got the appearance of a watch that I might be happy to have on your wrist, because that's another thing you have to be careful of. If you take somebody's advice saying this is the benchmark, Andy Hunter, he was very, very excited. He went out and bought his Omega Planet Ocean. He was really excited. He waited and waited and waited, paid a crap load of duty on it, finally got it, opened up the packaging, opened up the box. There it was. There it was in the box. He's thinking, oh my God, it's beautiful. Took it out of the box, took the cushion out, opened it up, put it on his wrist. Too thick. He didn't like it because it stood too proud on his wrist. So you see these watches on eBay or Watchfinder or wherever else you look, you think, oh God, that's for me. That's the you know, it's within the benchmarks that people have given me. It's wonderful. Look at it. Wow, what a guy I'll be with that on my wrist. You pay for it, it's delivered, you get it out. What do I do with that then? You know. So benchmarking is fine. You can get all this information supposedly from experts, supposedly, and you get it to your house and it's not what you'd hoped. So benchmarking's redundant, really. So okay, that's it. Any questions down below? Any queries down below? Any rants at me down below? If you've got any subjects that you want me to put my twist on, down below. I will include my email address, so by all means feel free to drop me an email. Thank you very much for watching. Again, never expected anybody would watch this rubbish. Please, if it's of interest, subscribe. And oh, before I go, come here. I think I might have found a Seamaster 300. Shh. It's in the works. I'll keep you informed. So for now, thank you very much indeed. Have a lovely, lovely Good Friday. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.